I'm about to expose the biggest liar on the internet. This is OnlyJayus. She's built a career stealing other people's content.
If you're attracted to your friends, partners,
if you're attracted to your friend's partner,
I have absolute proof that God does not exist. This proof is absolute, but immaterial.
To insult someone for being in a relationship with a black person by calling them a it is so hateful and it is so violent. Can you please leave me the alone?
Do you remember when OnlyJayus was just a Best Buy worker clocking in for $20 an hour? Back then, Isabella Avila never looked like someone destined for fame, but she skyrocketed into a TikTok powerhouse with 18 million followers, almost 5 million YouTube subscribers, and brand deals with Netflix and Tinder. From cashier to influencer royalty, her rise was fast, flashy, and unstoppable. But that dream collapsed just as quickly. Within a few years, she wasn't being praised, she was being dragged. A petition to ban her from TikTok gained nearly 500,000 signatures, turning her name into a symbol of online outrage. That many people uniting to erase one creator? That's more than controversy.
To the fact that when she said she felt like loving a black person was so disgusting that was the best jab to make at somebody.
Plagiarism scandal.
This ensures that no debt collectors will come looking after you.
It's going to ensure that no debt collectors come looking for you.
Next, start slowly auctioning off all your belongings.
You're also going to want to start slowly selling off all of your stuff.
The key word is slowly, because if you do this too quick, people will definitely be sus.
And the key word here is slowly, because if you do it too quickly, people kind of get sus about that sort of thing.
That's a digital mob. It all started with heavy allegations, racism, plagiarism, and a growing list of scandals that pushed her deeper into the fire. And instead of repairing the damage, her cold, defensive responses made things worse. Fans who once cheered her on flipped into critics, while critics became relentless enemies waiting for every slip-up. Her reputation didn't fade. It collapsed piece by piece. The internet that once lifted her up now branded her one of the most hated creators online. Today, when her name trends, it isn't because of her content, it's because of the drama tied to it. She filmed her very first TikToks in secret, still rocking that navy blue Best Buy uniform. But the moment her managers caught wind of it, they didn't clap for her ambition. They fired her on the spot. That downfall turned into a blessing, because by 2018, Isabella, now known as OnlyJayus, was free to chase content creation full-time, and she exploded almost instantly. A single viral video shot her to 1 million followers, and when she expanded to YouTube, she built a wild, colorful world of content. Her videos touched on everything: aliens, hypnosis, even deep talks about the meaning of life. Titles like "God Isn't Real, but Why He Exists" captured the vibe perfectly.
Do not own information. I think it's okay for other creators to do fact videos. I just think it's really weird when other big creators think it's okay to copy my video word for word. Did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on who you are as a person and the things that could possibly happen to you?
Yo, did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect?
By 2021, she was raking in millions a year and had cemented herself as a Gen Z icon, with an army of fans who swore her content was life-changing. One fan even begged her in the comments, "Don't ever stop. Your videos are too fascinating." But the glitter never lasts forever. Cracks started to show, and it all traced back to one video, the very video that shoved her straight into a scandal she couldn't escape: plagiarism and racism. July 2020 was TikTok's gold rush. Everyone was chasing virality, pumping out content like their lives depended on it. In the middle of that chaos, OnlyJayus decided to make a bold statement. She publicly called out another TikToker for stealing her ideas. That was supposed to brand her as a defender of creativity, but days later, the entire narrative flipped. The person she accused clapped back with receipts.
March are way more likely to have asthma. I can actually speak to this one because my little sister, the only one born in March, has asthma.
People born in March are actually more likely to have asthma. And I can speak to that because my cousin, the only person born in March, has asthma.
He tried to copy this video when I first posted it, and now he's trying again months later. And
showing JS herself had copied material straight from a public article. Fans weren't about to let anything slide. They dug through her old catalog like detectives. That very first YouTube upload, "God Isn't Real, but Why He Exists," turned out to be almost word for word lifted from a post on the Arch Atheism subreddit. She did throw a source link in the description, but carefully avoided crediting the actual Redditor who wrote it. What looked like a small oversight instead shattered the fragile trust she had built with her audience. And if that had been the only misstep, maybe she could have salvaged her image. But then came the ugly plagiarism beef with another TikToker, Alex. JS tried to brush it off.
Absolute proof that God does not exist. This proof is absolute, but immaterial. You can't see it or measure it, but it exists. It's beyond comprehension, and thus we should not even question it. It's everywhere at all times. You just need to have faith that it's there and that it's true.
Claiming they had both just coincidentally pulled ideas from Reddit. But Alex wasn't buying it, and the so-called Reddit post she pointed to, it didn't even exist. To make things worse, she was caught reposting her own fake evidence after fixing a spelling error. That tiny slip-up exposed the entire cover-up, and fans felt they'd been played. Respect evaporated overnight.
I'm offering $10,000 to charity right now if she can send me the Reddit post.
But plagiarism wasn't the final blow. What truly burned her reputation was far deeper. In 2021, a TikToker named Freed unearthed old private messages from 2016 where Isabella was accused of using racially offensive language. The words weren't just insensitive, they carried racial undertones that hit a raw nerve.
And then deleted it so that she had the convincing looking thing for her screenshot. And then she changed the date.
Especially during the height of the George Floyd justice movement. The backlash was instant and brutal. People said this wasn't just ignorance, it was a betrayal of the intellectual progressive persona she had crafted online. One viewer, Latasha Williams, summed it up plainly. The scandal felt like a slap in the face to communities already hurting. And when JS finally responded, her attempt at an apology backfired.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people. I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric and derogatory language to hurt others. And I am so sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the Black community.
She released the classic influencer-style video, tears flowing, voice shaking, but fans saw it as crocodile tears. The only thing that gained a sliver of respect was her promise to work with Black creators and use her platform to raise awareness. The problem? By then, the damage was already too deep. Sure, people acknowledged she had been only 17 when those private messages were sent, but JS didn't climb out of the hole. She dug herself even deeper with how she handled the backlash. And just when people thought the apology might redeem her, a brutal truth came out. She hadn't even written it herself. A TikToker revealed that her team actually hired a ghostwriter to craft the entire thing.
Now, you become a mutual of mine after your whole N-word debacle. Said you want to collaborate with me. We email, and suddenly you've dropped off the face of the earth. So, are Black people just tokens for you to use when you're ready to play?
Not to show real remorse, but to protect her brand deals. That stage performance turned what could have been healing into pure humiliation, and the internet never forgot it. The fallout was immediate. Netflix cut ties in silence. Tinder walked away. Other brands vanished without a word. It was like watching dominoes fall. One by one, every sponsor she bragged about disappeared. At that moment, JS stood at a crossroads. Face her past with real honesty or keep hiding behind excuses. Sadly, she chose the latter, and that's when everything started collapsing for real. Instead of accountability, she doubled down with over-the-top defensiveness. What should have been a heartfelt apology turned into a clumsy, bitter performance that only fueled more outrage. When people called her out for failing to collaborate with Black creators, like she had promised, JS pulled out her phone and recorded a car rant. Her voice dripped with frustration as she blamed mental health struggles and personal issues, using them as a shield against criticism. But audiences weren't buying it. People asked, is it really that hard to just say sorry? The patience her community once showed ran out completely. TikToker Maya, speaking with the rage of millions, said it best. We gave her chances. We stayed silent. We were patient. But then she threw all that trust in the trash only to come back crying, pretending to be the victim. With plagiarism stacked on top of broken promises, any goodwill JS once had evaporated fast, transforming her into one of the most despised TikTokers ever. One viral tweet summed up the internet's fury perfectly, racking up tens of thousands of shares. Seeing OnlyJayus on my For You page feels like being hit with a hate crime. That kind of language showed just how toxic her name had become. The campaign against her only grew louder. The petition to ban her from TikTok blew past 500,000 signatures, not just because of her teenage mistakes, but because, as an adult, she still refused to own them. People online repeated the same line. A 17-year-old can slip up, but when you're grown and given second chances, Hiding behind excuses instead of apologizing is flat out unforgivable. And just when people thought the scandals couldn't get worse, a real-world storm hit. In September 2024, her ex-girlfriend, Brittany Lee Detto, filed for a restraining order. The claims were disturbing. Toxic behavior, verbal abuse, and even JS allegedly showing up at Brittany's home late at night after being told to stay away. What really chilled people was Brittany's statement that JS owned a firearm. That detail alone sent shivers across her fan base. JS denied everything, saying she never harassed anyone and always respected boundaries. But the damage was done. By the end of September, the restraining order was dismissed when Brittany failed to appear in court. Why she didn't show remains unclear. Maybe lack of evidence, maybe not wanting to drag it out further. Still, the stain on JS's reputation was permanent. Just when everyone thought her career was completely buried, Bella shocked the internet with a comeback video that made people see her in a whole new way. The timing was wild. January 2020, when TikTok itself was on the verge of being banned in the US. On January 19th, she uploaded what looked like a farewell video, and immediately, people noticed something felt different. For once, she didn't come off cold or fake. She appeared softer, almost humble, speaking with a tone that sounded way more sincere than the stiff, scripted apology she had dropped before. She admitted to making mistakes without naming them, but the delivery mattered more than the details. What really hit fans was the ending, where she thanked the people who had once supported her, no matter how they felt about her now. That moment of gratitude made viewers stop and think. Maybe Bella had actually changed. The video became a rare spark of hope. For the first time, some people believed she could rebuild, that she could rise again with a new audience who valued her authenticity instead of her scandals. But that chance slipped away fast. TikTok survived the ban, and when Bella came back as OnlyJayus, she quickly fell back into her old habits, chasing shortcuts to claw back fame instead of putting in the real work. She tried shifting to long-form YouTube content, hoping to reinvent herself with deeper, more thoughtful videos. But the results were devastating. On a channel with 4.8 million subscribers, one upload barely cracked 3,000 views. By this point, her audience had almost completely walked away. Another upload barely reached 10,000 views, and the dislikes tripled the likes. One viewer cut straight to the truth in the comments. She's acting like nothing ever happened. If Bella really wanted to come back, she should be improving her content and slowly rebuilding trust. That was the reality staring her in the face. But instead of listening, Bella tried a risky pivot: politics. She started posting clips from Los Angeles protests, clearly hoping that controversy would bring back engagement. The move backfired instantly. Views didn't rise, her credibility didn't grow. Instead, she was accused of clout chasing. One blunt comment nailed it. Now she's just filming protests to seem like a good person. The internet wasn't fooled. Still chasing relevance, Bella pivoted again, this time to suggestive content. She launched a passes account, charging up to $80 for exclusive posts. It was the same last-ditch move we've seen from other fallen influencers, from the Island Boys to Jack Doherty to Liver King. Desperate plays to squeeze a few dollars from fading fame. But even there, she flopped. Engagement was painfully low, and the only attention she got came from a random unfamiliar audience, while her core fan base disappeared completely. The saddest part, while everyone else saw the collapse, Bella seemed blind to it, or maybe in denial. On her subreddit, she claimed, "My views are at an all-time high post-cancellation." But fans weren't buying that spin. She was also caught deleting negative comments on YouTube and scrubbing her subreddit of any criticism to appear more likable. But the cover-up only made things worse. One furious commenter called her out directly: "Stop deleting negative comments. You deserve them." In the end, Bella Rose, better known as OnlyJayus, chose denial over growth, and now she's paying the ultimate price. Instead of stepping away with grace, she kept posting into the void, fading deeper into obscurity as fewer and fewer people even remember who she was. Looking back, one thing ties her downfall together: ego. Her pride was simply too big to admit she was wrong. She once held everything: talent, platforms, money, and countless chances to redeem herself. But every time the opportunity came, she chose denial, blame, and deflection. Whenever her audience offered criticism, instead of listening, she doubled down, returning with an even more defensive, more artificial version of herself that pushed her further from reality. The result: oblivion. Her TikToks that once pulled millions now struggle to hit a few tens of thousands. Her YouTube channel sits like a ghost town, ignored and forgotten. The brands that once flaunted partnerships with her, they've all walked away quietly. At this point, it's not even hate holding her back. It's exhaustion. People got tired of a creator who refused to grow. Could a comeback happen? Sure, but only if Bella does the one thing she's avoided for years: swallowing her pride, owning her mistakes, and starting over with real honesty. Without that, her career won't go out with an explosive crash. It'll just wither into silence until she disappears completely. OnlyJayus' story stands as a cautionary tale for every creator chasing fame. Viral numbers can put you on top overnight, but character decides if you stay there. So, what do you think? Is OnlyJayus really a victim of cancel culture, or just someone who refused to face her mistakes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.